All right, no intro. We're just going straight.
We're shooting straight tonight.
This is,
shooting fucking blanks, probably.
This is. You're fucking, dude. It's so annoying when people are like, "This is what this episode is." What do you just like download shit and like not know what it is when you click play?
You mean the thing you do on every episode? I mean, because people do that. Yeah, if this is your first time listening to this podcast,
you fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of person you are and whether you're open to the effect that certain intervening contingencies are going to have on our performance this time around. I've had like probably 5, 6, 7 contingencies thus far prior to recording.
I'm on like 4, I think.
I don't even
3
know.
or 4. Yeah, well, this is Kings of Punk, I guess. This is the New Year's Eve special bonus episode where we are talking, airing our grievances. We're talking our hopes and our futures and our past. First, start off the episode, R.I.P. MF Doom, which literally 7 or so hours ago I found out about. And he's been dead for like 2 months, I guess, which is funny. Dennis messaged me. He's like, I don't think it was him. I think he was talking about his son. And it's like, it's his anniversary. And it's like, no, his anniversary was like,
dude died
in December. So I'm pretty sure it's the man himself, MF Doom. And I got to say, that really fucking hit me because MF Doom is probably my favorite rapper. I was contemplating earlier last week or the week before, like, who is my favorite rapper? And I was like, I think it's MF Doom. And I listened to a bunch of stuff like Mad Villain and then some other records of his. And my first album I ever bought was Gorillaz Demon Days. This is when I was like 14, 13 maybe, 2005. Yeah, like 13. And he was on one of the songs. So I knew about MF Doom before I knew about MF Doom. Among other things. Among other rappers like De La Soul and stuff like that too. So, I don't know. It really sucks. And the shit bums me out. And it's like the last day of the year that I like hear about this. Everyone's learning about this.
They had to get something else in. We couldn't end on a good note.
One
that
more
was impossible.
curveball before the year.
Yeah, we got that. McConnell just killed our 2 grand checks too. Just shout out Mitch McConnell, maybe the biggest piece of shit in the country. But regardless, it's one of several tangents. But
if anybody out there just wants to do harm to him,
in Minecraft as a parody,
yeah, I'm not advocating
as a good joke.
But yeah, the MF Doom thing. I'm going to cop to something that I'm genuinely ashamed of. I haven't listened to his music very much. I listened to Mad Villainy years ago, and at the time I don't think my tastes or wherever I was at in my life made me inclined to listen to it more. I will be revisiting, or really maybe for the first time visiting his catalog this week, because I will say this death is making me feel things primarily because I know that he was so important to like a bunch of people I love and my close friends. Like, his music I know made an impact on a lot of people I care about, and most bands or artists I would say that about, are bands and artists that I am pretty familiar with, and this is one where I'm not. So I feel remiss in that regard, and I'll be correcting that soon. And regardless, rest in peace.
Yeah,
sure.
True. Rest in peace to King.
I mean, I know people who have like started making music, I think, and had their music heavily influenced by his work, so clearly it's some shit. People I respect,
Yeah, and I think everyone like that's in like the alternative music scene like knows about him. He was like explored a lot of avenues and was in a lot of places you didn't expect.
Didn't he do shit with Adult Swim?
I was literally about to say that.
I remember that. I used to, and people who know me personally and know how sort of pseudo-spectrum-y I can be will be unsurprised to learn that I was very active on the Adult Swim message boards when I was in my like early to mid-teens, and yeah, I remember that from that era of my life, him doing spots with them and stuff.
I think that's Adult Swim is a super important like program for a lot of people, especially in the underground music scene, because like that's what you like watched and you were tuned into when you were young and you wanted to stay up late. Like, what else was there to
the collective consciousness of the millennial male, particularly the white millennial male, has absolutely been shaped by, fucking Frylock and Meatwad and all the rest of them.
Oh yeah, totally.
Robot Chicken. You could hear this
Oh my
even in
God.
other podcasts. Like, yeah, even like when I started listening to Chapo, I was like, oh, these were like probably Adult Swim guys, right? Like that, yeah, definitely a big deal. So
They had to
that's
have
another fucking cultural touchstone where this guy put his hands on it and left his mark on it, on their aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like if you're like 13, 14 and you have nothing else to do, and it's late at night on a weekend, and you don't want to go to bed, like
You gonna watch Cowboy Bebop?
you're gonna watch Cowboy Bebop
Oh,
or
dude,
some
that show
anime.
rules.
That's the only thing I remember that was on Adult Swim on the weekend.
That show kicks ass. I didn't even have cable, bro. I used to have, like, sometimes I would have my uncle tape it on VHS, and I would, like, watch clips online, and then eventually in high school I ordered the, like, still got them, the, like, C-Lab and Aqua Teen and Space Ghost DVDs. I loved it. Again, and was probably pretty key to formulating my sense of humor at the time. Fucking Tom Goes to the Mayor before
Oh my
anybody
God.
knew who Tim and Eric were.
Yeah.
That made me decide that just being annoying and insufferable was really funny, which was pretty important.
Yeah, there's so much stuff from that era that was really influential in terms of like developing my like sense of humor and stuff, and learning about how it came to fruition, which is like I think it's one of the people who was like programming, like doing scheduling for Cartoon Network, wanted to do something late at night, and they like
Started with Space Ghost.
yes, they had like a super small budget, and so they had to figure out something to do with this, and they're like, well, there's this character Space Ghost from this show that had like 13 episodes
Nobody
in the
cares
60s.
about, yeah, and we have access to it. Very punk, very like thinking about the William Burroughs collage aesthetic that in turn kind of got picked up by punk bands, sort of reappropriating old and forgotten
Media.
cultural media, and sort of subverting it. Definitely something very punk happening there, I would say.
Yeah, it's a really awesome, and like Family Guy. We're actually watching some Family Guy episodes. We've been watching Family Guy.
We're
Adults-
having a great New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
guys.
Mad drinks.
Got the Family Guy
We had
loaded
some-
up
we
on
had
Hulu.
Some burgers. Shout out to American Cheeseburger. Tom, Rob, Alex, what up?
Yo, that shit was so good.
Yeah, that shit's way good.
Maybe we can get Rob to be like a ad. We could do a plug for his extreme.
Whatever the
Gifts or
fuck it's
whatever
called.
it's called,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, I'll do an ad read for Rob. That would roll.
And he gives us money for it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, make sure you're talking into your mic.
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
Not like talking like this.
Sorry,
We're all a little,
we're all a little bit shot here.
a little shot. We're always
I'm
shot.
having a terrible week off from work, man. It's fucked up. Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a week off. I'm gonna get so much writing done and do all this stuff that I need to do, and I've mostly been sleeping. I wrote some guitar riffs. I went to the deli today. That was a big outing for me.
That was nice.
Going to Brownstein's. We should start going there regularly. It's good shit. But whitefish salad is on point. But yeah, no, terrible end of the year for me. Just been. I've got new lines under my eyes I didn't have yesterday. I picked up a whole murder's worth of crow's feet this year. Like, when I smile, it looks fucked. Now, fortunately, it doesn't happen very often, but regardless, fittingly miserable end to a pretty miserable year this week. And we're capping it off with you guys tonight. Fucking
Yeah.
New Year's cock rockin' Eve.
Yeah. Hey, so let's topic of discussion. What's good New Year's rock? What's some good
Is there-
rockin'
There's
New
two
Year's
songs.
Eve themed shit?
I got two songs. There's End of a Year by Embrace,
Okay.
which is Embrace LP. No, I don't really fuck with Fugazi. I never have. Even Rites of Spring, kind of whatever. Embrace LP is probably my favorite Discord release. It's like neck and neck with SOA No Policy. That
Yeah.
Embrace record has gotten me through some really tough times in my life. Number one, especially for this year, it's got to be the song Roses by Sheer Terror.
Oh. I was
For the
gonna say,
Roses, it's been a wonderful year. That's at the end.
is
maybe,
that like a New Year's song?
dude? Maybe unless you think I should do it now, maybe at the end I'll read the fucking lyrics to it because they're excellent. And,
pull up the
sums it pretty
lyrics.
well.
I was gonna say, what's that
A little
Ramon song?
dramatic
End of the
reading.
Century.
No, that's I Love Rock and Roll Radio.
Okay.
Because that's where the lyric is.
It's
the end of the
end of the 70s.
The end of the century. Yeah.
Does he say century?
He says century and 70s.
But it's not the end of the century.
That's the name of the record.
Yeah, but it wasn't the end of the century. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, it was end of the
because
decade.
that record came out in 1980.
Yeah, it was the end of the decade.
That's a great record.
Oh, the
I
century,
like it.
right? Because that's 100 years, right?
Hey, guess what? Ramones are fucking dumb. Who would have thought?
It's the end of the 80th century.
Yeah, the 70th century. Ooh. You guys are fucking smart, dumbasses.
You know, Marky, he's really smart. We just watched a video with him being a
Him and-
smart, well-adjusted adult man.
Yeah, him trying to talk shit to John Lydon, like, you guys, you talk the talk, but you didn't do the walk.
Just like
he doesn't even
you-
use. He gets the expression wrong. He doesn't say walk the walk. He's like, you know, you guys, you just like the MC5. You talk the talk and you didn't do the walk.
What the fuck? When he said that was like, what the hell are you talking about, you
I
jag?
guess his point, ostensibly, and the MC5 comparison calls this into focus. He's saying that the Sex Pistols talked a big game of politics, but he even says in the video, like, you weren't out in the streets protesting or whatever. It's like, I don't know. The Sex Pistols lyrics are not political in that sense at all.
No.
I mean, were the Ramones doing that either? I don't think so.
No, they weren't, but the Ramones weren't singing about it either. I think he's doing a thing of like,
Yeah.
we didn't do politics, and like you're putting on an act of doing politics and
We
not doing
talked
it.
about beating on the brat with a baseball bat. What about, you know,
We
It's like,
talked
dude,
about having the carbona, not glue.
talked about
He's clearly
everyday
just
things.
bitter about the Sex Pistols like getting credit for punk rock or whatever.
and outselling the Ramones, I mean, what, like 10-1, pretty much?
No, it was, but like, it's
If-
funny.
Not
'cause,
that much.
Yeah, I looked up the certifications, and like, Sex Pistols were double platinum in the U.S. and U.K., I believe. At least platinum once in each of those places. And I believe the Ramones had barely, like, maybe went gold in the U.S. for just the Ramones, the album. I
Or
believe
maybe
probably
a greatest hits record or
I
something.
probably can imagine all of their records combined they sold more than the Sex
must have
Pistols. But still, like, the fact that the Sex Pistols had one and done and were able to outsell the Ramones.
Not trying to diss the Ramones either, but I will go to bat for the Sex Pistols definitely and say that it's a band that has always been more important to me between the two, and that disparity of which one is more important has only grown greater over the years. Like, I still listen to the Sex Pistols. I don't really listen to the Ramones regularly. Maybe I should. They are great, but
They're pretty good.
you know what's interesting about the Sex Pistols? I was thinking about this because we watched. I don't know if I mentioned it the last episode or not.
Well, you know what? Real quick, a quick quip.
Yeah.
With the Sex Pistols, they have such a limited discography that it's easy to listen to them and digest them, get it out of the way. The Ramones have so many like releases.
You
that,
could kind of pick any one though, and you know.
yeah,
what you're
but
getting, though.
you can't.
That's
like-
I don't know if you can say that.
You really can't. Like the last 10 years, it's like, do you really want to listen to any of that stuff when you
Some
could
of that
listen to
stuff's
the
good.
first 10
Yeah.
years?
The thing with the Pistols I was thinking about the other day is like, because a big criticism of early punk rock in Britain is that it struck a kind of working class pose, but that was exactly that. It was a pose, and to a large extent that's true. I mean, the Clash, that was like something their manager. What the fuck was his name? Doesn't matter. I can't remember. They had some manager guy who kind of had them adopt that. Even Sham 69, they had a working class guitar player originally, but Jimmy Percy was like a uni student or whatever. The first like dyed in the wool working class punk band, at least from Britain or probably in general, would have to be the Cockney Rejects. But interestingly, the Sex Pistols are the band that everybody rips on and says not to bother with because they were like a manufactured boy band. And
Which
that's-
is a take that I had for a long time.
and mind you, that take is not. I can't, in good conscience, say that that's totally untrue. But what's fascinating about that band is that's kind of true, but at the same time, it's also completely false. And if you want to talk about fucking working class, like Fucking Steve Jones is more authentically working class than fucking anybody from the early punk scene. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to read his autobiography, but I think fucking Rotten was too. And even, I think Paul Cook as well. I don't know that much about him. But in terms of actually coming from that background, they were the realest motherfuckers of the early British punks. And the fact that they were kind of a boy band almost meshes with that. Like, they didn't have the sort of bourgeois fetish for authenticity that we see so much from even punk bands today.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't mind being famous because they hadn't developed a sort of fake moral code that would have forbidden that to them or made them like think that it was a fucking problem. If you haven't watched it, anybody, there's a documentary called Nevermind the Baubles about the last Sex Pistols concert. Was in the last UK one. It was on Christmas Day in England playing.
We mentioned that last episode.
I did mention it last time. All right, never mind. But it's good. Never mind the Baubles. So, yeah, the
Good-
band
good
rules.
thing to watch.
Don't believe the slander, even though it's all true. But there's more to the story than that.
Yeah.
I'll just, lay it all out here and say, Marky Ramone, you were wrong for going after Johnny like that.
My favorite part of that video is watching Henry Rollins just go like, yeah,
Yeah, that
like,
was
I'm not
fun.
touching this one. Another person who people hate on a lot that I will go to bat for. Fucking Rollins is cool. Sorry.
Yeah, Rollins rules.
People have hated Rollins since he joined Black Flag. All those fucking brats in California used to try to fuck with him when he was playing. And that just makes me like him more. East Coast, what up?
Yeah, I always like the Rollins stuff the most out of the Black Flag stuff. And I think his personality is a little annoying, but he definitely has like undiagnosed like he probably is on the spectrum, if we're going to be honest, to some degree. Maybe not like very high, but based upon like everything I've read and
I could see that from how he
seen.
talks. I think that dude like didn't have a steady girlfriend until like a couple years ago. And just his commitment to working and touring is incredible. He has this incredible quote that I wish I lived by more, where he's like, there's no downtime, there's no free time, all you've got is lifetime, go. And he's lived by that to an incredible extent. I mean, he just doesn't fucking stop. I want to watch the only episode of The Osbournes that I remember from back in the day is an episode where they discover that Rollins is like Ozzy's neighbor. And they meet each other. They lived in the same neighborhood in L.A.
Damn, Henry Rollins is like living it up. I mean, he must have some good money.
He's got money
fucking
for
live in the
sure,
same
yeah.
neighborhood as Ozzy. Jeez.
Liar. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead watched that. He's got money. But yeah, I just remember Ozzy saw. He's like, I fucking hated Henry when I first met him, but we're friends now. Which I'm sure he did hate him. Rollins was probably such a big fanboy. He's just like sitting Ozzy down like, the music of Black Sabbath has made an inestimable impact upon me, and it's an honor to be here, sir. We have much to discuss.
I was
and
thinking
Ozzy's like,
about
Sharon, get him out of here.
I was thinking about
He ain't got no neck. I don't trust him.
thinking about when Black Flag played with Venom. I think it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the early 80s. And they were making fun of them for being like satanic. I remember it was
He hated the smoke machines, Rollins
And
did.
the,
Yeah,
and the
he-
fans blowing Venom's hair up.
really funny.
I feel like he says something about that in the book.
Yeah.
I should bring it down here as a coffee table book. I have Rollins' book, Get in the Van.
Yes, that's the
It's
book
his
I'm
tour
talking
diaries from Black Flag. That's a great book. The best story in that, I almost feel like we mentioned on the pod before, but it bears repeating. In like 83, Black Flag was playing at some godforsaken squat in like Denmark with all the spiky punks that sniff glue all day. And they had a boombox with them and decided to put on the record that they had been listening to a lot. Des Cadena put on Eliminator by ZZ Top. And the punks start bitching at them. And Des is like, what are you mad about, dude? This is the new Exploited record. And Rollins swears on his life that one of the punkers started crying because they believed him.
That's awesome.
Dude, that rule.
Yeah,
that
I
rule
know.
that someone
It's
would
so
like, that
sick.
would say that.
Leave it
thing.
to some
No,
leave it to
that's-
some annoying loser Danish guy to
Also, very
think
like
that's real.
very Rochester punk move. Like that's what flip shit would do in Denmark. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, that's
dude.
sick.
That's so funny. This is the new exploited record.
They had a terrible time in Europe. They said when they went to Italy, people treated them like rock stars and like loved them. But like in England and shit, everybody was fucking with them. People hated their shit. It makes sense because the Italian hardcore bands are like pretty wild, like not by the numbers, Discharge, rip-off type stuff. Their shit's cool. It sounds like they were listening to. You can hear Ginn's guitar echoing through, Cheetah Chrome motherfuckers and Raw Power and all those bands.
I was gonna say it seemed like honestly the Italian hardcore. It seemed like they liked American.
Totally underrated too. The Italian stuff is great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very underrated scene in terms of punk stuff. Yeah, the Indigesti,
is good.
Wretched.
Bloody Riot is like a sort of Oi influenced one that I love. My favorite from Italy is probably the Shotgun Solution 7-inch. Fucking ripper, insane. CCM is up there too, though. That is a fucking wild band.
Yeah, that band is so underrated. I think, do people care about that shit anymore? Like, do young people really, like, are they getting into, like, foreign stuff as much?
Younger than us?
I don't mean younger than us. I mean, like, maybe. This is something that I find weird is when people talk about punk bands. If, like, I hear it on Demolisten, not to diss Demolisten, but when they talk about, like, if this was, like, done by 15 or 16-year-old, like, this would be okay. But I didn't start playing in a band until I was, like, 18. So I can never imagine myself being in a position where I'd be, like, 14, 15, even 16, and getting my parents or anyone else involved in what I would want to do. And I think that's maybe just my mind being poisoned by, like, my parents kind of being a little shitty and like not really trying to advance my musical interests, my creative interests in general. I was always downplayed as like, oh, playing your little guitar and whatever, as opposed to trying to like flourish it. It's like, oh, Tyler has this thing that he's interested in. Let's, push him into it more so he's like has something to do. It was always kind of like oh wow, this is stupid. And I kind of resent them for that, but it kind of helped me push myself into like what I'm doing now, which I think I'm doing pretty good for what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I can't imagine ever being like 14 or 15 and like not only playing in a band that's like writing songs and shit, but like recording them and getting them put out.
No, dude, I think we're fucked. I think we were like the last fucking generation to like listen to punk. These fucking little kids are not listening to punk, I don't think. Prove me wrong, by all means. Like, I would love, even like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm imagining a like street punk band from like Ohio with a bunch of 16-year-olds that sounds like the Casualties. Even that, like, if you're in that band, Leaking Head wants to play with you.
Right,
like,
get out here.
I do know a band.
We'll go there. No, I want to go there. Like, come on. Like,
I do know a band from New Bedford or somewhere in Massachusetts.
I think it's New Mexico.
No, it's like, I think they're called Bulletproof Backpack, and it's like a bunch of like
promising name.
It's like 12 or 13 or 14 years old. I think
hell yeah,
Trevor
dude.
from the Rival Mob, X-Files X, Moon Man, he like recorded like their demo or something like that, and it wasn't very good. I didn't really like. I wasn't like, oh, I'll listen to this again. But the fact that it existed is awesome.
And live, it would probably be fun. Like playing at whatever place that fucking band plays at with them would probably be awesome.
I think 7 or 8 years ago, I would be like, this is stupid. But now that I'm an aged man now, I can like hear stuff that maybe kind of sucks and like see the good in it enough to want to like push someone and encourage people to do it more.
I'll have to recap like the ridiculous Death Camp tour that I booked for us like 6 years ago, whenever the fuck it was, because I did it all through weird venues on the internet. The website was called like bookyourownfuckinglife.com. It was a shit that like folk punk bands used like 6 years prior to that. Website barely exists or works anymore, but I got in touch with people through there. And, yeah, that was great. I love playing in little fucking small towns. People are more appreciative there and shit. Like, and, like, young kids. We played in Lindenwold, New Jersey, wherever the fuck that is. with like some street punk band that was all teenagers, and I mean we were barely not teenagers at that point, but the kid was like, "Oh, dude, you're front man, you like Darby Crash," and I was like, "That's not accurate, but I could see why you would think that, and that's dope that you I guess it was a little accurate because I was really drunk, but regardless, like, yeah, no, I want to get out to the fucking like I don't know, like don't get me wrong, playing in New York, Boston, or whatever is cool, but I like playing in places where." Because Rochester's a little like this, too. Places where you don't get every fucking big band.
Yeah.
People aren't totally fucking jaded. And I hope that when this fucking Corona shit is over, if it ends, which I'm increasingly thinking it won't, yeah, out to fucking places like that. And if there's younger kids there who are still enthusiastic about this music, that would make me feel less fucked. And it would make me happy for them because this music has brought me a lot of joy and whatever else people in their teens are into now. I'm not going to say it's worse, but I don't know if it's better, you know?
Yeah,
Whatever
you know, like,
it might be.
what is it now? Like, video games?
Yeah, but video games existed 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Video
Yeah,
games existed
but
20 years
now-
ago.
Yeah,
Now
I
it's
don't
like
know.
Twitch streaming and stuff like
SoundCloud
that.
rap
SoundCloud
still,
Which,
rap.
maybe.
I mean, that whole Twitch streaming, that shit blows my mind that people would actually pay money to watch somebody play a fucking video game.
I mean, you don't pay money usually. You like
Whatever
almost
it is,
never
like
pay money.
even just watching somebody.
I like
Kid-
watching.
kids-
I like
game.
watching some video game
Kids are
people. If
listening.
it's something I like, enjoy. I watched someone play through all of Metal Gear Solid 4, but the reason why
Sorry
is
to hear that.
Yeah, it
well, the
sucks.
reason why is because you can't play that game unless you have a PS3, and it's like, well, I'm not buying a fucking PS3 to play this one game that I want to play. Like,
So
it's
you
just
just-
not worth it.
You just watch a video and pretend that that's you playing it.
No, I just was like, oh, let me see what goes on with this game. It's better than reading it. Like, I like the game series enough where I played all the other games. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm not gonna ever play this game. So
I mean, I guess maybe if anyone who's ever watched pornography maybe can't criticize you for that too much.
yeah,
Maybe.
it's like
Even
someone.
though I still want to, and I have watched porn at one point in my life.
It's not.
occasionally,
It's something that I would
Once.
do,
Once or
and that's
twice.
the only game I've ever done that before.
I will say, I came down here the other day, and one of you motherfuckers put on a playthrough of, like, the Sopranos video game.
Oh,
That was
that
Tim.
was
It was
me.
you, and I thought you
Yeah.
were playing it for like an hour, and then I was like, the
I fell
controller's
asleep
the
watching. that.
controller's just sitting there. He's clearly not playing it.
And it's not even a good game. That game.
Oh no, it's
sucks.
like it looked. I just put it on because it was The Sopranos, which is right. I was like, well, I don't have the DVD or I can't watch the show, so this is the next best thing I get.
next.
He's watching a
next best
playthrough of the
thing.
video game. I didn't even know they
Actually,
had a
that might
fucking
be.
Sopranos video game.
I can't criticize people who because I did watch the entire 3-hour video. So
At least mine, the one I watched, had like commentary and stuff like that. A guy talking about like the game and stuff like that.
yeah.
Oh,
So
this
that's
is
a little-
good game.
Yeah.
So you got some of that. I
This is
just
a-
got
And like
This is a
Metal
fun
Gear
game.
Solid 4 is like 50% cutscene. So it was really mostly watching cutscenes.
well, that Sopranos game was like 90% cutscenes.
Cutscenes.
I think.
Yeah, the Metal Gear Solid games, which I'm very excited, and people are suspicious of it, but I'm very excited for the movie that's going to be made, hopefully,
Why is it suspicious?
because every video game movie sucks.
Go figure.
But yeah, go figure.
Okay.
Weird.
But now here's the thing. So they talked to the director. He did Skull Island. He's done a bunch of other stuff too. He was saying, like, someone asked him, like, I watched this there's like a 30-minute interview with him. And the person asked, like, what's your favorite video game movie? And he's like, well, actually, there really hasn't been any good video game movies, but there has been good movies that are like video games. And I thought, well, it's like, well, that is a wild take because that's that's like such a crazy way to look at it, but it's actually the best way to look at it. And Metal Gear Solid, the game, it's a weird tangent, but Metal Gear Solid, the game, is such a insane, like, it would take like 10 plus, maybe like 8 or 10 hours to really explain everything about the game. Like, it's so deep and the lore is insane, but that's what makes it great. So trying to make a movie about it, it's an interesting thing to talk about because there's a lot of like real life things to talk about. Like Kojima, the director, like predicted like social media and like
That's
the
interesting.
widespread
That's
internet in
interesting.
like the year 2000. The game Death Stranding, which is about delivering packages in a post-pandemic, post-apocalyptic world
That's
where
kinda wild,
people
yeah.
can't go outside because there are ghosts and demons that will kill you, and the rain will accelerate you and kill you. Like before the fucking pandemic,
What did he know?
I don't know what Kojima
like
knows.
He's
how,
dead now, right?
No, he's not
Oh.
dead.
It's like how William Gibson predicted the internet with Neuromancer. If you haven't read Neuromancer by William Gibson, Jesus Christ, William Gibson, Neuromancer. I haven't read it in years. I loved it in high school, and I need to revisit it because it made a pretty huge impact on me. And yeah, he describes something. I believe he even calls it cyberspace. And like, there's hackers who plug into the mainframe and surf on data and do shit there. And I think at that point the internet might have existed in like an early form but wasn't a big thing yet. I have to check the timelines again, but if I understand correctly, William Gibson effectively predicted the internet with that science fiction book.
Damn, son, that's wild. I've heard of Neuromancer. I've never read it. I've heard it's also hard to read. So
It's not hard to read. No,
I don't
dude.
know.
No, dude, you would
Dude,
like
I feel
it.
like Chris. I feel like Chris has been like, "Oh, dude, that book is like hard to read."
Motherfucker, are you for real? That
I
book-
don't fucking know.
Dude,
Maybe it's
again,
some other book
I
that
haven't read
that
it
dude
in
wrote.
years, but like,
Sorry, Chris. I don't mean to like misquote you here.
I haven't read it in a long time, but I read several William Gibson books in high school, and I was in high school. Like, that shit is not hard to read. It's written like a fucking like a seedy detective novel. It's very pop writing. It's fucking totally easy to read.
Okay.
I mean, I could see not liking it and getting bored and deciding to not read it, maybe if you're not into the subject matter or his style or whatever. But it's not like a fucking dense, difficult text.
Okay. Well, that's good
And I
to
say
know.
that as someone who generally finds sci-fi hard to read because I usually find it boring. Although I haven't really delved into the genre. Like, I haven't even read fucking PKD or any of that shit. That's like next on my list.
I gotta start reading more. That's a thing that I think I wanted to do earlier this year, but I like kind of stopped.
I go through little spurts of it. I don't do it consistently enough. I have a few things I need that I'm kind of working on now. But for a while I wasn't reading at all. I'm on like nonfiction now though.
Yeah. What do you think, Tim? Do you like books? You've read a bunch of books before. I mean, that's a dumb thing to say, but like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'll read a book. Yeah,
if it's like something you like are interested in.
if it's something I'm, that piques my interest.
Fiction or nonfiction more so?
At this point, I think it's probably nonfiction for me.
Yeah, I think we're probably mostly on the same page about
Yeah.
that.
I don't. Fiction is just, I don't know. I'm more interested in like real life shit. Not
Oh,
me.
that Adolph Reed Jr. book I got, Class Notes. You
Yeah.
should borrow it after I'm done. Fucking excellent political commentary. It's a little bit older, but so some of it might seem a little dated. He's talking about like the rise of Louis Farrakhan and stuff. So it was from a minute ago, but his commentary and his takes on things I think are still very prescient. He's talking about problems that I would say are more apparent now, and he was talking about them, at least I think like a decade ago. So Adolph Reed Jr. Class Notes, that's your fucking Jake Razor book recommendation for today.
Yeah, I gotta start reading that book, the one you gave me for Christmas.
Please Kill Me. That one's cool
Please
because
Kill
you
Me.
don't have to like sit and read it. You can kind of pick and choose, I would say.
Yeah.
Same with Lords of Chaos, the one I gave you.
yeah.
Lords of Chaos. We gotta read we should. Have you guys watched the movie?
No, I
Nope.
haven't.
We should watch the movie. I think sometime.
on
We should do
Hulu.
like a
Is it?
live stream or something where we like Twitch stream or something, us watching it and reacting.
Yeah.
Making fun of it spontaneously. Because I'm pretty confident that it sucks.
I think the issue is that like being in the black metal, like the mayhem story is something you like are almost immediately like tuned into just by design, just by the fact that they're one of the most popular black metal bands. So me like 12 years later getting into black metal, learning here's a movie about this. It's like and having like one of the people in my work, the upper management kind of guys, be like, "Have you seen the movie yet?" And it's like, no. Like, It's
No, I haven't
Also,
seen
that book,
Minions yet.
contrary to the movie, like that book has so much more in it than the Mayhem story. That's like a fucking tiny percentage of what the book is about.
Yeah, it's about just like the Norwegian black metal scene in
It covers more than Norway. It covers other
Okay.
places too. They talk about Absurd and all that fucked up shit.
Okay.
They talk about Varg as a person and his views a decent amount. And they even, and this is what's really cool about it, and this is why I recommend that book to people who don't even listen to the music. Like, they branch out from that into talking about like both Satanism and Norse paganism and how that relates to the black metal ethos, and draw some pretty some parallels between the Norse sort of spirituality and canon and the style of black metal and its aesthetics that I think gave me more of an appreciation for the music, because it's almost as if those fucking stupid teenagers were tapping into something pretty ancient without even fully realizing what they were doing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
kind of just something in their DNA, just
Yeah.
and they're
rewriting of
messed up
history.
DNA.
not a rewriting of history, but just like how sometimes history repeats itself in a sense.
Archetypes, baby.
Yeah.
The Odinic archetype and the archetype of Odin's Ghost Riders. That's what fucking Ghost Riders in the Sky is about. Or I don't know if it was intended to be, but that old country song, like he's describing the there was like a ghostly horde that would go like snatch up unbaptized babies and shit, and Odin led them.
Oh wow, I don't know what that is at all. Sounds scary.
It does sound scary.
I think it's easy to be. Here, let me start over again. There are a lot of scenes that we can talk, that people can talk about, but I think it's the Norwegian black metal scene. While it is like done to death, there's a reason why people talk about it, is because there's a lot of drama involved with it, and unfortunately, drama creates not only an interesting subject, but gives you something to talk about, which is why there hasn't been a movie about death metal, really, because death metal there wasn't people killing each other.
Well, this was sort of Euronymous' criticism of death metal that even though I like some death metal, I'm somewhat sympathetic to. There is something very mundane about it.
Yeah, it's just people playing music.
It's very workmanlike in a weird way.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like, I agree. I like
It's cool
that.
in its own way.
I
but-
don't necessarily want my musicians to be murderers, but at the same time, like, that doesn't create an interesting story.
Well, murder aside, like, even before you get to that, and this ties in with the point I made a second ago, like, those black metal guys, whether it was consciously, as maybe in Varg's case, or unconsciously as in some other cases, like, those guys were... And actually, this is both books I gave you can really tie in with this. Like, whether you're talking about sort of people like the MC5 and the Stooges or Darby Crash, or whether you're talking about Varg and Euronymous, you're talking about people who dedicated themselves into living out mythic narratives and becoming mythic archetypes. Like, they were not thinking of themselves as just guys who play music. Like, they had maybe not a coherent story, but a narrative understanding of life that they were trying to live in accordance with, and to sort of live either heroically or villainously, depending on how you want to look at it or how they looked at it. And I mean, that's how you end up. That's where rock and roll legend comes from. And there's always a question for me about how much of that is intentional and how much is just fucking the hands of fate or whatever. I think it always has to be a bit of both. But yeah, the rock bands that become legends, it's that there's a mythic quality to it, and they're sort of in line with certain archetypes that I and others would argue come from our own subconscious, and that makes it, and also that makes it easy to sell. You know, people want to buy a story. That's what people are looking for when they spend money. So
I had someone was talking about like leftist black, like Antifa black metal, which is Tim with a scowl on his face, which should be the appropriate response. Like, I'm not dissing these people because of their political beliefs, but the music is bad, and this is something I think I don't know if I mentioned it, but I said it's like those bands like kind of suck because I don't think it's as honest as like it's as they want it to be. Like versus the music that like a person like Varg, it's very honest music that.
Yeah.
And another thing is, and I have I'll explain the whole thing in general. They aren't antisocial fucking freaks.
Well,
like
why
a lot of black metal dudes are.
Aside from the music being bad, I get the impression their politics are kind of milquetoast. Like, just being I mean, they're not like Stalinists or whatever, are they?
They're probably like
Are
maybe.
Are you
well,
talking
see,
about how
someone,
their political beliefs are it always almost kind of seems like it's always on some. I do not care what anybody says. Like,
no, we're talking about. I think you're talking about the leftist people.
Yeah, like
okay,
fucking Neckbeard
okay.
Death Camp or whatever. Like, their only political view they really express is sort of generic 21st century anti-fascism, which I'm not pro-fascist, whatever. But like, I don't know, if you're gonna be in a black metal band, like, you should be edgy in some capacity. And I would argue you can be anti-fascist and still be edgy. I don't know, put fucking like Enver Hoxha on your record or something. Like, I don't know, make it fucking interesting. Like, these fucking fascist bands are like ready and willing to be dangerous, and that makes their records good, and that's also means that they can like win fights and stuff sometimes. So fucking, you might have to be dangerous too, and if you want to be an anti-fascist, you have to be ready to be in danger. And that's not within the purview of this podcast, but what is in the purview of this podcast is like, you should be dangerous with your art.
Yeah,
and that
I don't
doesn't
think
mean
those
just
bands
being
are
an edgelord, but
I don't think those bands are dangerous because,
Nah.
like I said, they're not like those fucking weirdos from the black metal scene in like the '90s that were doing
Right.
this fucking sketchy
These
fuck
are
shit.
like college kids doing this shit.
I would love to hear like an Antifa band or like an anarchist band from like Ukraine or Belarus, because those people are like risking their lives to do that, and their music is probably pretty good too. But
and often because of that, I think the music suffers because it's a reaction to, like, well, we're just as good. You know, you don't have to listen to anti-fascist black metal. We can listen to us. We're just as good as that. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, you're not
like,
fucked
don't
in
try
the
to
head.
start a fucking diet band. Like,
Yeah.
don't. Okay, yeah, no, you nailed it.
You're not fucked in the head
you
enough
fucking,
to the point.
You nailed it, because they're framing themselves intentionally or otherwise. Certainly not explicitly, but I've read it the same way. They're framing themselves as like a substitute, and it's like, no, dude, you're not supposed to be the substitute. You're supposed to be the fucking opposition.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you're not just supposed to be like the other option, and this applies beyond music, frankly. Like, you shouldn't be the other option on the same menu. Like, open a different fucking
You
restaurant.
should be adult.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's you shouldn't try and operate in the same fucking scene as these fucking people. You should be completely fucking different. You shouldn't even play black metal.
That's the abject failure of it. It's right. It's like, how about you try to play like metal that isn't black metal or something? I don't know, or anything that isn't black metal.
I think trying to take, because one of the dudes, I think Noah from Neckbeard Death Camp, has like a project called White Phosphorus, which is like a noise project, and it totally is trying to be like Death Key, which is Antichrist Kramer's noise project. Probably not. So if I'm misconstruing that, Noah, my bad. You know, I just know from listening to some of those releases with the almost propaganda like vocal stylings and like the noise and stuff like that, the fact it's called White Phosphorus, like there's trying to be like some militaristic element to it. Like, it's trying to be like some of those bands, but I don't want to hear your band try to be like those bands and fail. Just as like I don't want to hear your new Swedish death metal band in 2020. That shit to me sucks. It sucked back then. If you're not expanding on it at the very least, you are adding nothing to it. And why the fuck would I listen to your Swedish death metal band style band in 2020 when I can listen to the bands that I at least know that are pretty fucking good from that time, even though I don't really care for them? You know, why would I ever substitute out something that I may not even care for? Why would I waste my time on that?
I mean, also, what's up with hating all these bands in a certain style of music, and then being like, okay, I got to play that style of music now.
Yeah,
but
that's
with
kind of
different
fucking weird
lyrics.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, this.
Yeah, you know, it's just
Yeah.
like you're ripping off racist band. You know, I don't know. It seems it strikes me as odd.
Like I said, there. I mean, it's almost just strikes me as like a marketing thing. Like, oh, there's people who listen to Burzum and feel bad, so I'm gonna give them something
Right.
they don't have to feel bad about it. And it's like, no, like, give them something different and better and appealing. Which is why I want to start a hybrid power electronic / black metal band called Cheka, and our record will be called Transylvanian Gulag. Or no, Transylvanian Gulag's corny. We'll just call it Gulag, but.
See, I wanted to get a power metal / power electronics band going. I don't know how that would
I don't
work,
know what the
but
fuck that would sound like, man.
probably complete shit, but that's why it needs to be done.
But yeah, really, we don't want to hear Halo top black metal. I want to hear Ben and Jerry's. This shit's bad for
Right.
me, black metal.
I don't wanna hear
If I'm going to go down that road.
Yeah, exactly.
I think people should be more aware of what
I
they're
think we're
listening
fucked
to.
up enough to do it.
I don't want the Splenda brand black metal.
No. I don't want the stevia brand, even though stevia kicks the shit
Out of
cocaine and the Stimulant Olympics. I don't want
Shout
to
out
have
to Dan
that.
Quinn
Yeah,
for
shout out
letting
to
us
Dan
know that
Quinn.
one.
We got to get you on the podcast ASAP. Dan
it
Quinn,
would-
please
it would
come
be
on
like
my podcast.
it would be like someone that's like, I'm going to start a band that sounds like Argosland, but it's not racist. And all we talk about is how Argosland is bad, but we sound exactly like Argosland.
You could just
So
talk
that
about
means-
something else.
That means, well, because that means like, well, you must listen to a decent amount of Argosland to be able to try and ape Argosland, which is like, that's fucked if that's what you're trying to do. And if that's what you're trying to do, why would I listen to you and not listen to just that band? Like, if I can like ignore the politics of your band, why would I just not listen to the band?
and if you can't ignore
politics
the
like this
politics
ignore.
of it, which is understandable.
Just listen to something else.
Well, yeah, if you can't ignore the politics, which again I get it. Like, why would I want to listen to the diet version of that band so it can remind me of that band?
Just listen to pop music at that point.
Yeah,
or or not even
to
pop
whatever
music,
the
just
fuck
anything else you want.
Yeah.
Let's stop listening to metal. So, stop listening to metal. Really, at the end of the day, I gotta stop listening to metal. Like, so this doesn't happen again. People all over. If you're listening to metal right now,
Just stop.
Everyone in
Stop.
the world should stop listening to metal.
Put your
I agree.
MOD records away.
yeah, we know. Oh man, should we punch down on Billy Milano?
I mean,
I have to
this would
piss,
be a
but
good
you guys
episode
can
to
start
do
if you
so.
want.
I
We can
guess.
start. First of all, I got Tim a copy of MOD's USA for MOD the other day as a gift. And Tim opens up the liner notes.
First song on the record.
First song on the record, Hard R.
Right
And that's-
there. Like, not even an asterisk in the...
Which is, dude, that is fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was like... That came out in 1987, I think. Or I don't-
Yeah. 87. It was 87 because it was after SOD. Like, can you... Man, what's that death metal band that has a hard R in it, too?
Oh, Malevolent Creation.
Malevolent Creation,
Who-
like their second
that
album.
track
Second or third album.
on Spotify, that
You
track
can't
is
listen
not
to it.
available on the album that it came out on.
What's it called? They Breed or something like that?
I think that sounds about right,
Yeah.
From the 1995 album Eternal, I want to say. That's
So that is something, it is very funny when people are like, I don't think there's a racism problem in metal. It's like, dude, like this stuff has been around for like a long time. And anyone that's actually in the metal scene and has gone to like a bunch of metal shows knows that it's like, you'll just hear the offhanded comments every now and again. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so there is truly definitive proof of like deep-seated racism like within metal. And I think the fact that might be a really early example of that kind of shit. That was 87.
right. That was like,
What's the song called?
Aren't You Hungry?
Aren't You Hungry?
That's the name of the track.
Jesus Christ. That album is just, oof.
Well, it's like you
Aren't
know,
you hungry?
he took
Aren't
the.
you hungry?
Hungry.
It's like they took the. They clearly modeled themselves after SOD because why be original or anything like that. But
I mean,
Yeah,
Dan
it's like they were
Lilker-
like, oh,
Dan
let's-
Lilker and Scott Ian like fucking help write some of the songs.
yeah. But then it's also it's just like I wouldn't be surprised if if Milano was like, oh here, like I'll just up the offensive.
Well, yeah, he looked at the thing that was like
because USA for Africa, that was like a thing. I think
Yeah.
I think that's what the track is like dissing the. Mainly.
Yeah, there was an old RAC band from Buffalo called No Alibi. They had a song called Bullets for Africa, which is presumably the same message as Billy Milano, which is reassuring.
No,
Imagine
I think
them being on the East Coast and just having guns and they're like, oh, and I don't know why in an English accent, oh right, Africa, this is what you get, and just shooting guns, thinking
the air.
they'll reach to Africa
In Buffalo, New York.
In Buffalo, New York, the East Coast of Buffalo, New York.
No, I feel like it was Milano just looking at what got SOD, people talking about SOD the most, and ignoring the fact that they had good music and being like, I'll just turn up this knob because this knob seems to be working.
Really good production, too. I think that was honestly the main thing with that record is that the guitars sounded like, mega buzzsaws going off.
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah, on SOD, you mean?
The SOD
Yeah, fucking
record,
guitars
yeah.
on that are brutal for sure. Yeah, Billy Milano. I mean, is kind of an OG though. He was in the Psychos in New York.
yeah,
before
yeah.
that.
Like he was hanging out with Murphy's Law and all those.
That
guys.
was like a proto-agnostic front band. Is the Psychos? I think didn't Radio Raheem do like a reissue of their shit recently?
I have no idea.
That label rules. That's fucking. You ever check their shit out?
Is that like a boutique kind of like old reissue stuff?
Yeah. They did the
that's cool.
NYC Mayhem reissue. They did.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, they did the fucking. Sacrilege NYC, the like pre-nausea band with Adam Mucci from Agnostic Front. Great label, and I believe they either did or are working on a Psychos reissue, which I'd like to hear. It's we listened to some of it the other day, some of their demo. It's got some Oi influence, but it's got like I can hear some Celtic Frost vibes with the guitars and the riffs. Definitely could see why they went on to do crossover stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Milano is a piece of fuck. To be sure.
To quote our buddy Trevor, who was on the Analcon episode, he said he's like an unfunny Seth Putnam.
Yeah,
because
but not as shocking though.
But not as shocking because
at
the
end of the day, was like normal, kind of
more normal. Like, here's the thing. I think Billy Milano is a more normal person.
100%.
So
that's why
when you hear what he's saying, you kind of believe it. Versus, at the very least, Seth Putnam puts on that air of mistake. Is like, is he saying this just to be a fucking lunatic or like piece of shit?
Billy Milano
like,
just comes out off like he's fucking like a racist dipshit
right,
from New Jersey because I'm 100% sure that's what he is.
It's just like, oh, that's my dad's friend on stage singing. And why is he singing those terrible? Why is he saying all those terrible things?
We got on this topic as we were watching a video of MOD in Greece, me and Tim, a video from like when the fuck is that? Like
last year.
Last year.
And he just looks like a bloated bag of I don't know.
We're just kind of watching it, and Tim's like, "Oh yeah, these assholes." He looks like he lives in a garbage can.
I had a joke about how he's.
Why is my dad's friend on stage singing? Who the fuck your dad hangs out with?
I had a joke about how he's got that song "Get a Real Job" and like his job is the garbage dump of New Jersey.
He just absorbs all that
that's
trash.
His home, not his job.
No, they just bring all the garbage to him and he eats
pour
it, and they're like, "Well, thank God we're safe from Billy Milano for another day."
Right, he's not going to go on an eating rampage. And
he's a bridge troll under that bridge that Chris Christie shut down that one time.
How about that one video of him at the Walmart where he's like trying to buy underpants?
Yeah, he's trying to buy underpants. He's like saying like racist shit.
He's like, he kept for some reason he's like targeting Guatemalans or something. He's
like, oh yeah,
they made them down there. They made them out of bananas or like something really fucking stupid.
Hey Billy, if you're listening to this, leave Guatemalans alone.
Yeah, what did they ever do to you, dude? It's not like they took your job or anything.
Yeah, they didn't take your job singing for a band that no one cares about. Yeah, I wish they did. Just a little 4 foot tall.
Hello? Get a real job?
Is method of destruction.
This is a method of destruction.
Long ago is una spandex enormity. His
And I mean,
spandex, and she's
how-
usually got a culo is más grande in his spandex.
And how can we forget that absolutely wretched? He did like a surf rock thrash album.
Oh God,
That
yes,
shit-
surfing MOD.
That is absolutely, that is pure filth coming out of the speakers every time I hear
About
that.
3,000 copies of that is at our House
House
of
Guitars
Guitars.
on tape. Literally
cassette.
a case full of tapes that are surfing MOD. I don't know how they did it.
They're like, we got this when it came out. They're like, this isn't a reissue. This is 31 years old.
That, I mean, straight up, though, that probably is exactly the case. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that.
Dude, they probably have so much shit like that there.
They probably have they have probably 1,000 copies of every MOD record on tape at the House of Guitars.
Jesus Christ.
I have heard that, like, in their, like, what is it, like their basement or something, they got like crazy, like, mad shit.
Yeah, for people who don't live in Rochester, House of Guitars is a bit of a Rochester institution.
Yeah.
Legendary spot, music store with instruments, and then in the basement it's all records, CDs, whatever. Yeah, wild place. How would you describe House of Guitars to an outsider?
A disorganized mess of a place, but at the same time, it's fun to kind of go there. I mean, it was every now and again to go there and peruse and see what kind of gems you can find there.
Lots of famous musicians have been there. They got signed photos with fucking Metallica.
Steven Tyler, Head
Steven Tyler.
PE, Overkill, you know, the greats.
Probably the
Yeah.
most interesting thing about the place is it's owned by these two brothers, Bruce and Armin Shawbrook. And if you're not from Rochester, you probably don't know about this, but you should. Armin Shawbrook made some records in the 70s that are incredible. It's like it's basically like a Lou Reed ripoff mixed with a little bit of an Iggy Pop ripoff, but it's because he's such a singular figure, it sounds like its own thing. And I can't recommend those records enough. The first one is, I believe, a triple LP. The first record was intended to be the soundtrack for a film that he was going to make with Andy Warhol about his life story, about Armin's life story, because he, prior to opening the House of Guitars, went to fucking prison for like stealing PA equipment from churches. So it's a concept record about him going to jail with like sketches between the songs. He's got another record called Rat Fucker from 1978 that's excellent. If you like, I guess what I would describe as like gonzo rock, I can't recommend those records highly enough. They're online, and you should check them out. Armin Shawbrook Steels is the name of the band. Really seedy stuff. If you like seedy music, that's a good band to check out.
Also, got to give bring up the Cat Click, that group that he did.
Oh yeah,
the
that was
60s
the 60s
group.
band. Yeah,
That's where it's like a more outlaw version of maybe the Animals. would
yeah,
be a
I could
good
hear that. It's got an
comparison.
Animals vibe,
But, like, you know, a
Animals,
little bit
pretty
more
things,
gritty.
Yeah,
Which,
definitely.
that's a great record.
Armin's
too.
music. He's one of those guys. I guess this would be maybe it's almost in the outsider art category, but it's like.
Not he actually knows what he's doing.
But
I
he's an
think, though.
insider. It's like an outsider who found his way in. And even just from hearing the music, you can tell, like, oh, this isn't a bit. Like, this guy is like this. Like, this is real life,
But
which
I don't
is a
think-
quality that I appreciate.
I don't think is that guy Bruce. He's not really like that, is
I think
he?
Bruce is normal. Bruce wasn't in that band, though.
Okay.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I
right.
think
He never
Bru-
did music.
I think Bruce was
really, right?
involved in the crimes, though. I mean, I could be wrong. But
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if
that's
I don't know if he went to jail or not. But yeah, if you're into real deal, again, gonzo rock in the sense of gonzo journalism, definitely would recommend Armin Shawbrook Steels to anybody.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever listened to it. I probably have by osmosis, by people playing it when, like...
You should listen to it after this. It is great.
Well, it was officially
It's New Year's.
New Year's,
Yeah,
New Year of-
already for
2021. I guess any hopes of 2021 that we think are going to happen? I foresee with the vaccine maybe live shows happening in like later this year.
I was gonna say I'd love to play a live show at some
God.
point.
Yeah, that's
next
really
year.
like the only thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
But I know Europe, they got shit already planned out. I think by like August, September, October, probably October, late fall. That's what I've heard. Fall's gonna be good. I think eventually people will just mitigate. Will be like, I don't give a shit anymore.
But are they going to be allowed to do that?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
And the thing I fear is that people just won't have enough money to even like go into it anymore to be able to like do things.
You mean
or,
like go to a show?
Yeah.
Jeez, I hope.
You know that sucks. Like this has literally just been a huge. I don't think it was like. I don't believe that any of this is man-made in like a sense, but I believe that like every consequence of it has been man-made, and that like
100%,
this is 100% a way to get money back up into like more money into the wealthy and the 1%.
No, make no mistake. Like the existence of the virus, I don't believe is a conspiracy, but everything else about it is a conspiracy. Like this, we are living through the largest upward transfer of wealth of the entire modern era, and I'm sorry, but I don't believe that happens on fucking accident.
No way.
The CARES Act is a deeply evil piece of legislation, and we all fucking cheered for it, including me, because we were going to get $1,200, and it was that or fucking nothing. So if you're not getting a little tingling of class consciousness now, then you might be fucked forever, because this is of course it's a conspiracy. Like they're fucking just taking out every Amazon competitor on fucking earth.
Yeah,
and giving handouts to the biggest companies who never shut down throughout this whole fucking
thing. Who don't need
thing.
them either.
Who don't need handouts and who never fucking shut down.
I read a thing about this.
Walmart got money.
Someone was like this company was like selling things on Amazon. I forgot what it was specifically, but they were doing really well. And like Amazon just copied exactly what it was, like made their own version of it, and then shut down, like didn't like block them from like selling their product on Amazon.
Shut down.
So and there's a mad proof of this. There's a ton of like proof of this, of Amazon just doing that, where they will underprice the same exact thing, but it'll be slightly different. So that way they can take out the competitors.
I want to see if we're thinking the same story, because the story I heard about that was like that was like a someone who was on their grind, who was buying like cheap goods from China.
No, this is something. This is like I believe this was a legitimate company.
Either way,
legitimate companies. Either way,
even the fucking asshole who buys cheap crap from China and marks it up and sells it via Amazon. Like, I am doing critical support for even the shittiest, like, petty bourgeois tyrants in these times, because at the end of the day, those shitty small business owners, I'm not saying you got to take shit from them or whatever, but they are an obstacle to that upward flow of wealth, and the total consolidation of capital that is in progress right now, any obstacle to that, you're going to be hard-pressed to get me to really be opposed to that in light of the general trend that's happening. Because that total consolidation happens, like, then we are all completely powerless. And it's crazy that people don't feel, I mean, maybe they do, but I feel like there should be more of a sense of urgency about this, because whatever other issues you care about, social issues regardless, and I'm not trying to downplay any other issues, but if that total consolidation of wealth happens, anything else you fucking want in society, you're going to be at the mercy of a few billionaires handing it to you.
But dude,
because money, capital, not just money, but capital is fucking power. So we got to fucking slow that flow down. Otherwise, whatever the fuck else shit you want, you're just going to be hoping they give it to you. And to me, that doesn't sound like a very good proposition.
But hey, they send kitty litter that I can just buy like at a store down the street in like 2 days if I pay like $10 a month, $15 a month.
It's true. It's great. I
do
it too.
It's like really good, dude. That's a thing. If you buy stuff on Amazon, I know you did recently, so I'm not going to criticize you, but like a lot of, honestly, I haven't bought anything from Amazon besides my bed frame, simply because it was during pandemic time, so don't blame me too much, but that was like the last thing I bought.
I bought a book on there, which is what it was originally designed for, and I got some vitamins with it because I needed them anyway. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done any of that.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of that. But at the same time, consumer boycotts I don't think are necessarily an effective way of dealing with these things. They could be if they happen. For example, if Amazon workers are on strike and there was a coordinated boycott along with the strike on a large scale, that would be worth doing.
That's
me
worth
buying from Amazon or not buying from it. mostly makes a difference in terms of like my own psychology, which doesn't mean it's not worth not doing, but I mean, that's not what's going to change it. We
Sometimes-
need coordinated political action.
That's all you need to make yourself kind of feel better, put you in a good mind state, is to like not buy from Amazon, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to feel like you're doing something. You know, you're not doing anything. Me not buying anything from Amazon doesn't do anything. You know, it would take, if I could convince 5 people a year, and those 5 people could convince 5 people, you know, a month, you know, it would take 1,000 years to get everyone to not buy from Amazon.
And then it probably still wouldn't
And it
matter.
probably
Just think
wouldn't
about how
work.
much money they would have by then.
Because here's the thing, Amazon makes a lot of money through like a lot of other means, not just by selling stuff. I think like their cloud service is like their biggest moneymaker. Like so many fucking websites and stuff like that
I
use
didn't
it.
even know they had that.
Yes, that's a huge thing they do. So exactly, you don't even know that. You don't even know how far the fucking well of Amazon goes, which is what everything is so fucked all the time.
So they're just going to be like the federal government at some point, probably, right?
Or I
replace
don't know,
it.
but
I don't know
like
either.
it's they. I'll say this: they are entwined in more things than you think they are,
I'm sure, yeah.
and I think there's very easy ways to like kind of get them out. This is something everyone has to do this, and everyone has to agree to do this. So maybe you don't buy your fucking toiletries from fucking Amazon when you can just be a fucking adult and do this. I'm only.
You're right. I think that's important mainly on a psychological level. Like there is a deleterious psychological effect, which in turn makes you make worse decisions when you are literally reliant on, and fucking Grubhub's the same shit, like
Yeah.
having someone hand everything to you. Because that's, I think, what they fucking want. They want you to be in like a fucking pod being spoon-fed exactly what they give you. You don't own anything. You're not a worker. You just have gigs, and everything just comes. Everything's delivered to your pod step by fucking one of these services.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
That
Yeah.
really that's whack.
I'm not trying to live in some Black Mirror kind of shit.
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck is that shit?
We pretty much are already, but it could get a lot worse.
Oh, it could get way worse than it is.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
think
Kidding me?
there's little things that people can do, and I to me I think the worst thing that Amazon did was the idea of customer service and the idea of everything getting out. Like I actually have to probably tomorrow I'm gonna pack up some stuff to mail out later this week, but I'm just a person with a fucking full-time, like a normal full-time job that plays in a couple bands that, you know, things get. I forget about shit all the time. I have ADD too, so that doesn't help. And I think trying to compete against an Amazon, it's like that's not going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
And I like the idea of like waiting. I mean, sometimes waiting too long sucks. Like when I got one of my records that came in the mail, it came way late. That sucks, but like the idea of like having to wait a couple months, like that's like 1 or 2 months. That's not that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, if you fucking needed it right now, you
Yeah.
would go to the store or you go somewhere where you can just buy it right then. The fact that you're able to put it off means that you don't need it right now.
Well, you know what that does? That enables you to plan more poorly, because now you don't have to
Yeah.
go when the store's open. You can do it at night. So it does have an effect of making people worse at managing their own lives.
You
which-
can
which-
spend more time watching Netflix and not do anything, because when you
Yeah,
realize
exactly.
that when you realize at 2 a.m, oh no, I need toilet paper.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy some and I'm just gonna shower every time I shit for the next few days until this comes from Amazon because I'm too lazy. Like that's a fucking whack mentality. I'm not saying that you can't be lazy. I'm not saying
But-
that you can't forget about
Straight
stuff.
up though, that's like what the people up top want. Like,
That's
they
what I'm
want
saying.
people
They're
be,
trying
like,
to lock
fucked.
you in this self-repeating
Yeah.
cycle of like kind of being slovenly, which I'm totally guilty of, and not having your shit together. And like I'm not trying to shame anyone for not having their shit together, because the point I'm making is you're not supposed to, per the system. Like you are supposed to not give a fuck and not manage your own shit. And it's hard to manage your own shit, especially when you're fucking working and you have all these fucking shitty things you have to deal with that we can't even get into here. Like, I get that it's hard. I'm not good at it. I am bad at managing my own life, but the thing that drives me insane about that is mostly the fact that like these fucking scumbags I'm pissed at and that you should all be pissed at, and probably most of you are, like, they want you to be bad at managing your own life. So they're going to make it very easy for you to get away with not managing your own life. You know, I used to, like, a lot of people think that our dystopian future was going to be like Mad Max land kind of shit beyond Thunderdome.
I wish.
Not at all.
I wish,
not
man.
even close, because there's no need for them to do that. They're going to probably, and I can't predict the future. I'm trying to break this habit where I think that I can, but why wouldn't they just give us just enough UBI to give them just enough money to keep going and just keep us on fucking, give us these palliative measures like fucking getting food delivered and watching pornography and every other fucking thing else. So, to bring it full circle, you want to talk about hopes for 2021, hopes for the future? I'll just put it on the fucking line now. America probably needs to turn into a third world country, and along with that, to take the next step after that, we need a new labor movement. It's going to look completely different from how it did last time. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a lot more diverse, and it's going to come out of different places. The places I'm thinking of are like, we talked about Amazon. There's tons of challenges there, but Amazon fulfillment centers, big box stores, fucking Costco, Walmart, all those kinds of places. Those are, generally speaking, like, the key thing is those are places where you talk to your coworkers. You know them, they know you. You can fucking chat with them. And also, in the interest of, like, avoiding some of the shortcomings of our previous labor movement, like, those are diverse workplaces where people would be represented. Fucking hospitals, that's a no-brainer. Like, These are places where it's people are not too atomized from one another like you would be in an office, where you can get to know your coworkers. Organization can happen. I am doubtful that anyone listening to this is in a position to have anything to do with that, frankly. But if it happens, be ready to support that movement, even if there are elements of it that fucking touch on parts of your brain that make you feel annoyed or that you think are morally iffy. Regardless, like, I feel that's our only hope, is a new labor movement coming from probably those places, but I don't know where. There's also people still work in factories too. Like, I don't know, but I just don't see another way for this to jam up the gears of the death machine we're in currently. Because that's something that could do it, If everybody in Amazon went on strike, that could fucking do it. Hospitals, again, big box stores, chain supermarkets. I don't really see another way forward. Whatever way forward happens, I think all we can do is be in the moment, be open-minded, remain inclusive, and be ready to offer to support to whatever avenue seems to open up. I would say it could be that, or we could get like an awesome populist dictator. That would also be tight. We could have like a football player, or Guy Fieri, or whoever, just come in and say, like, we're nationalizing everything. It's going to be dope. And if that happens, go vote for him. But
well, at the end of the day, things are fucked like there always are. And they'll still be fucked, and they'll be fucked for a long fucking time. So I think we got to get used to it.
Just be open. Be ready.
Be open.
Don't get too used to it. Be open to that it could be unfucked. Because history has shown us that, like, there are intervening fucking factors that you cannot possibly foresee.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They can be totally disastrous, or they can fucking turn things around. So.
Well, hey, perfect way to describe the Biden administration right there. Totally disastrous, or actually,
on the contrary, I would advise everyone to more or less ignore the Biden administration, because you can't do anything about them anyway. Like the fucking.
Listen here, Jack.
Yeah, get your words straight.
I forgot.
Yeah, no, don't spend your time or energy fucking speculating about the government. Like, I'm sorry, I'll go on a little rant here because this was bothering me today. When I see people arguing about, like, oh, is AOC good? Is she on our side? Is she going to help us? It's like, what if she wasn't? What would you do? Like, the real question here is not, like, are these fucking people in power or politicians or whatever, like, good, or do they want to do what's in their heart? Like, you don't know what's in their heart. And it, on some level, shouldn't matter, because the real question is, like, What are you going to do about it? And we need to figure out what we can, or not even we, because we're not going to be the ones leading this. Like, there needs to be some calculus of like, okay, it doesn't matter what's in this person's heart. They have to do what's good for the people anyway. Leverage. Like, that's the first step. Like, you can worry about what's in somebody's fucking heart after it doesn't matter as much anymore.
This is how we do. We take away all
Like,
the ice
why
cream.
are we betting on the, like, morality and, like, internal psychology and calculus of these politicians? Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is horrifying. Jesus Christ.
We take away all the ice cream from Joe Biden.
No,
Joe
that's a good
Biden
idea.
is just like, hey, come on, hey man, what the hell, Jack? I'll do it. I'll do whatever for a scoop. And then we say, give us the stimulus, you stupid bitch. Because I know the
we need
fact
to be in
that
a position where we can take we need to get in a position where we can take Joe
that's
Biden's
the
fucking
dumbest
ice cream away.
That's like the dumbest thing to say, but at the same time, it's like, we need to take Joe Biden's ice cream,
is-
quote
No
unquote,
scoops,
ice cream
come on.
away.
What would be taking away Joe Biden's ice cream though? Like being like, oh, you're not gonna be president now, bitch.
Yeah, we're gonna support the Republican Senate, the House Republicans that are like, we're gonna vote no for the Electoral College.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking
fuck
vote
them.
no for that fucking 2G.
No, this is fucking. It's all the Dundalk here. We fucking voting no.
Yeah, we
for,
fucking work down here.
We work at the Napa.
Yeah, I fucking
Hey,
work at
Napa.
I work at the fucking gas station. I don't give a fuck.
Look, I work 3 jobs at 3 gas stations. I ain't vote for no Joe Biden.
Yeah, well, I do the morning shift, the noon shift, and the fucking night shift.
I was gonna use that fucking stimulants to buy some Percocet.
That stimulants check.
Y'all work like
Stimulus
80
check.
hours
That's
a week.
What
I need
that's
the
what it really
stimulants.
is, man. Trying to get that yayo. I'm just kidding. I don't like Coke. It sucks.
Yeah, I think Coke sucks 2021, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's like that's going to be my take. My big thing of
Stimulants
being like Coke and stimulants, like, uppers suck. Like, that shit's whack. I think most shit in general is kind of whack.
Yeah, I mean, don't let that get
Not
twisted
even
into
drugs.
a pro-downers position.
See, I
That would be
remember-
unfortunate.
Recently,
Weed's bad, too.
somebody asked me if I like drugs, and I was like, only like the really shitty drugs, like whippets, huffing gasoline, rubber cement,
Yep.
garbage like that. I love putting garbage into my body, and they were like, "Wow, that's." I thought they were impressed that I was so forthright with it.
Who
Yeah,
did
I mean-
you say that to?
Somebody at Vertex.
That's funny. That's a good take.
Yeah,
I
it
like
is a
that
good
take a
take.
lot.
We should
Yeah,
get some
I mean,
let's
I'm
get
just
some
not.
whippets this weekend.
I'm really bummed that we're not getting like more stimulus checks. Stimulants check.
Give us more stimulants. Mitch McConnell.
Minch McConnell.
Minch.
Yeah,
That-
Minch, where's the yayo at, dude?
Yeah,
Minch
my
the
boy
bench.
I'm trying to get skeefed up, Mitch.
Mitch is a fucking bench,
Bernie Sanders
dude.
has been in Congress fighting for our right to get more fucking fish scale up in this motherfucker.
Free stimulants.
I want the people to have that good shit.
Trying to get that bag, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get that fucking. We're just gonna have to get a bunch of cut shit with the $600.
We are going to bring back bath salts for the American people. And until that has been accomplished, we are not leaving.
It. Well, I think this is a good place to end it.
Yeah,
I'm
Bernie
I don't wanna-
Sanders is
Yeah.
going to bring back bath salts.
We're bringing back bath salts. 2021. I think ultimately it's going to be a good year. I think it's going to be as good as you can kind of quote unquote make it. Obviously, if you get COVID, it's probably going to suck. I'm not going to predict anything. I'm not expecting anything other than what it was. And I think anyone that's like, oh, 2020 is done, 2021 will be better. I don't know, man. Like,
I wouldn't
2021
look
is
at it
already
like
kind
that
of
at
starting
all.
shitty with MF
Yeah.
Doom dying. Like, me finding out
time
MF Doom
time
died.
is fake anyway,
Yeah.
The protesters in France are in the process of abolishing time. That's actually Macron's job is to prevent everyone in France from burning all of the clocks and
He's gonna
abolishing
block
time permanently.
time.
That's as an EU technocrat, his job is to stop time abolition in France.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, like, but we have a lot of good plans out for the future for all our bands and shit. So if you're
Yeah.
listening to this, thank you. We really appreciate all the support so far, and tell
Yeah, thank
tell
you.
your friends.
Touched.
We got what's next episode gonna be? Is that gonna be the Gizm episode?
Gizm, I guess, right?
Yeah, let's do
I don't-
Gizm next episode. Fuck it.
I need.
Is
some
this the
Do we
time.
bonus
want to do
episode?
something else? Should we?
I don't know. Then we shouldn't talk about this now anyway. But I'm down to do a Gizm one, but I need some space to like meditate and think about what I'm gonna say.
Oh, the fucking get it.
Well,
get
what do
on.
we want to talk about with
I got a
Gizm? Are
few
we going to
days,
talk
yeah.
about like the records?
Oh, we're
or, like, their
talking a bunch.
backstory,
We're just gonna go
Whatever
the whole
you
thing.
think about Gizm, which is more the tact I'm taking because they only have like 3
Yeah.
records.
They got 3 records. They got 3 DVDs. You know, DVBs.
BBB.
We should watch those. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. I don't fucking know. We gotta do interviews, but at the same time, it's like, dude, it's so hard to do interviews now. Like,
We have some good guests lined up, though.
You got some shit lined
good.
up.
We have some Rochester
I guess-
legends coming to
let
the
us
studio
know.
soon.
Really, let us know what you want to hear, because like,
Yeah, for sure. We'll do fucking requests, maybe, probably.
I don't want to do
Depending on
just
what you ask us for.
like I want to do interviews, but I don't want to do typical interviews. But I don't want to do just episodes where we have a guest on, we talk about something. I would like to talk to specific guests about specific things.
We got
Whatever.
some of those in mind.
2021, we're ready for you. We're gonna take you on. Maybe you'll fuck our ass. I don't fucking know. We're gonna try and fuck your ass though. Is that a good idea? You know, is that right?
I agree with that. Yeah.
We're gonna break your back, fuck your ass, and make you humble.
We're going to make 2021 humble.
We're gonna hit 2021's back walls.
And to leave off 2020, we have Jake Bliss here to leave us with a special message.
I'm tired of trying to understand, so ignorant I'll remain. I feel repressed and I'm not impressed by the games you children play. Some of you may bask in the sun, and some of you may hide. Whenever I hear your laughing voices, I just want to cry. So many years of nothingness, yet you seem so content. You have to realize it's all lies and deceit. Call me a bastard, call me a freak, I'll just turn a deaf ear. 'Cause all I know is that for the roses, it's been a wonderful year. Now your party's over, and your host has died. Kick off your shoes as you walk through the door. It's time to come inside. The world is crumbling. I'm drunk and stumbling. A new year's come alive. It's been a wonderful year.